the most popular. It's very entrepreneurship and leadership, marketing, international relations, and more. Tons of different emphases you can add on to your business admin major, and lots of opportunities for global experience at Marshall as well. The World Bachelor in Business major is really unique because students spend their first year at USC, their second year they study at the Hong Kong University for Science and Technology, third year they go to Italy to study at Bocconi University, and then their fourth year they can choose between these three campuses, USC, Hong Kong, or Milan, and yeah, there's tons of different global experience opportunities there to study abroad. And you don't just earn one business degree from this program, you earn three from these world-renowned universities. So that's really awesome if you want some sort of time away from US, you just want to kind of explore the world. That's an awesome opportunity. And then I'll point your attention to this white building right behind us. So I mentioned earlier, it was kind of loud when I said this, but USC served the students. This is where they learned, this is where they lived, and they actually have moved to the location of this building 3 times. I don't know how they did that. I don't know if it was like an up situation with the balloons on top of it, or it was a bad day for the football team, but it's here now. I think it'll stay because it is now a California state landmark, and it's now the administrative offices for our alumni. So that's a little history on this building. I'll continue walking and you guys can help things style. First, these are residential halls, which are long hallways, and shared double rooms. This is common in a lot of the houses that are going to walk past. So different north and some examples of our social residential halls. The second is suite style. This is what I'm living in here. With clusters of 2 or 4 rooms, and then you get a private common room with private bathrooms. So in my suite, they're expensive. So again, depends on your preferences. We have different options for each of these categories. For example, this is party tower to your right, P-A-R-T-E-E, parents, not P-A-R-T-Y. And then this is a residential hall with those communal bathrooms and shared double rooms. In terms of dining, we have 3 dining halls. We have Parkside Dining Hall, which has a lot of international food options. We have our McCarthy Dining Hall in the village, and that offers a lot of food for dietary restrictions. Also really beautiful in there too. And then the last is everybody for a second while I introduce you to I like to mention on my course because one fact is that this is the highest point of elevation on campus. So I'm taller than anyone at USC right now, just from this hill. So that demonstrates that USC is very walkable. I don't feel winded going to class. And you can't say that for all schools. And at the start of the year, there's something called the Welcome Back Concert. And student performers perform, and I get a little taste of what our Thorne School of Music has to offer. Because it's so awesome, they're already pop stars. I thought they were pop stars, and it turns out they're students. So now when I see them around campus, I get kind of flustered. We also have something called Conquest and Springfest. These are also kind of festival style. Don Tolliver and Dominic Fike, they have performed at these events in the past. Also, guest talk. We also have weekly Wednesday farmers market. So every single Wednesday, Iron Quad is all of different characters have jewelry, a lot of different things here. And then at the end of the quad, you can see the library. It's primarily used for workspace because you don't see 24/7. And then as you make your way up, it'll be a little quieter for some independent study. So you decide what floor students can study preferences. There's also the Showa Foundation within CD Library. Behind CD is our advanced architectural coursework. Primarily a graduate school and kind of finished for here, but I'll just mention it. They have a new major launching for social work, systems of care, and the juvenile justice system. So also great for elective courses. If you want a minor, so at USC we have over 90 minors and 90 majors within dorm site. Dorm site is split into 3 branches. We have social science, natural sciences, and humanities. So basically this is psychology, international relations, sociology, economics. Internet study abroad as early as their third semester. And financial aid, including scholarships, federal aid, USC aid, they all contribute to your ability to study abroad. Our programs vary pretty widely. You can either study abroad for a full semester or a short May semester or July semester. July semesters, May semesters, they kind of sound like, they are what they sound like, so it's just a couple weeks after the semester school year ends. You can study programs across locations in Europe, Africa, and Asia. For some examples, we also have like study away programs, so a lot of the students in law and politics will study in Washington, D.C. on our capital location and learn about our office of President Beonso Kim. This is also the largest performance venue on campus with 1,235 seats in here. The most popular event here is called Visions and Voices. It's a university-wide initiative to introduce students to the arts and humanities through things like guest speakers, lectures, and performances. For example, a couple weeks ago, I saw John Mayer perform here for Visions and Voices, did a Q&A session for an hour, and then he performed some of his songs. Oh, wait, sorry to... but I found a class called Foundations in Cognitive Science, and that relates to my interest with psychology, and that's been a really cool class, learning how the mind works and kind of analyzing all of those little nuances. And last semester I took feminist science fiction for my humanistic inquiry class. That's really cool. You're not going to find a class like that in high school, and a very niche topic. So yeah, GEs are pretty cool because you get to study something completely unrelated to your major and just learn something new. Instead of being in the classroom like me for my life sciences class, you can do like more hands-on experiences like going on a hiking trip or going to a museum with your professor. So I have a friend that's a thematic option named MMA, and she's done really cool things like that with her teachers. Okay, and then let's pause here for a bit. Got Eileen North Cinema Theater. I want to talk to you guys about the most popular film critic, Leonard Maltin, and it's taught within here. So students will spend the first couple hours with artists. They come to talk about the movie and share some details about it behind the scenes for students. For example, I know around television instead of movies. And then I'll also point your attention to across this fountain we have the Bing Theater. Bing Theater is where we have a lot of performances for dance, drama, music. I just saw Legally Blonde here a couple weeks ago. That's the musical of the year. I had a lot of friends in it, and it was so fun to watch. I've performed here with my a cappella group for a comedy show, and then I've also seen a dance show here. It's kind of fun because the arts majors, all of their midterms and tests are just performances, so I get to have fun while they're technically taking a test and watch their show, and it's always a treat to watch. So I'll start moving again. I want to talk a little bit. They offer two different degrees. First is Bachelor of Arts, and second is Bachelor of Fine Arts. They're a little bit different. So BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts, that is a conservatory-style program with intense discipline-specific training in whatever your major is. So my roommate Mia, she is a BFA in musical theater, and that means that her courses are planned from the start. She can't study abroad, and she can't minor in anything because her whole schedule at USC is kind of planned from the beginning with it being a conservatory program. And she was with a cohort of about 15 students. So the BA, Bachelor of Arts, offers a lot more flexibility. You can minor in things, you can study abroad, and a lot of students will do like BA. But I'm going to try to speak up for this. North School of Music, they offer two different degrees. First is a Bachelor of Music, and this is a performance-based degree in either pop music, jazz, or classical music. So I have a lot of friends in these majors. They're all in my acapella group. Like I said, midterms are really fun for me for the arts majors because midterm is to perform in a band. This is also a cohort-based degree, so the cohort is like 15, 20 kids, and then each little section of the semester, and then your final, they perform it as a band. And then each little break in her semester, she's supported with different members of her cohort, and they make a new band together. And that's really fun to watch. Take you through this. Yeah, so they know a lot about good technique with singing. But I'm Marcy, and I also have a friend that is a choir teacher for like an elementary school, so she gets to do that while she's studying here. Yeah, I can go on to our Kaufman School of Dance right here. This brick building. Kaufman School of Dance is known for its innovative approach known as the New Movement, being that Kaufman is not just a ballet school or a contemporary school, but really it focuses on the hybridity of dance styles. Its core training is in hip hop, ballet, and artists. Really cool stuff. I'm honestly a fan of a lot of them. All of them follow me back on Instagram, it's fun. But some of them are already doing awesome things. Like freshmen are being the dancers in like the Gap ads. If you've seen those are like really cool opportunities to dance. And then being in LA, schools like Thornton and Compton and our school of cinematic arts, which we're going to use to, they're really involved in the industry, being right by Hollywood. There's a lot of opportunities to connect with industry legends and professionals. So that's a bit about Kaufman School of Dance. If you're not dance major, about 2,500 students can still enroll in. Like I sent an email to the songwriting school to get a decommission for open mic. Again, while they're talking about art, we'll just art. This is our George Lucas building behind me, and I'll ask if any of you guys have seen Star Wars and know about it. 2, 3. There are 4 speedways. Wow, look at you guys! Pretty neat, huh? Alright, you guys can follow me inside.
Cool. Yeah.
As I was mentioning a little earlier, in LA, you got great resume writing, interview stuff, and also access to something called the SCA job board. And that's regularly doing the job take advantage of. SCA also has a meeting. For example, Jill Chu is the director of Creative Rotations and Wicked. Shonda Rhimes is known for representing Grey's Anatomy. Ryan Coogler, known for Black Panther and Sinners. And you'll see some notable names on these walls here. They are contributors to SCA. So continued support. I'll stop us here for like just a quick second. Any of you guys read Latin? Okay, well, I don't need it, but I know one phrase, and it happens to be right behind you. It means reality ends here. That is SCA's school motto, and it's really reflected in the opportunities at SCA. For example, it's one of the only graduate schools in the country where students can complete an entire feature film production without leaving the studio. That's because we have classrooms and sound stages above ground, and post-production studios and computer labs below ground. So lots of opportunities to let your imagination kind of take over while you're at SCA. And we can keep walking. Have you guys seen High School Musical or know the general plot of High School Musical? Okay, yeah. You guys can get a good taste of my favorite movie genres from this tour. But I like to think of this as the SCA, as the High School Musical intersection. If you don't know, Troy Bolton is the lead character, and he's deciding between his love of performing with his love for basketball. And in Troy fashion, we'll be transitioning from our performing arts to now our sports. So I hope you liked my segue. I worked really hard on it, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. Okay, so this is sports. This is Heritage Hall to the right. They showcase a lot of our achievements and medals within this building. For example, USC competes in 23 NCAA sports, 10 men's and 13 women's as a proud member of the Big Ten Conference. And as of the last school year, we have won 137 national championship titles, which is pretty cool. I think ranking 3rd in the nation. And then in terms of Olympics, we like to boast that as well. We've won 341 Olympic medals from our alumni. And if USC were its own country, we'd actually be 13th in the world for our, I messed up. If USC were its own country, it would be 13th in the nation for our Olympic medals, which is pretty cool. That's a good stat. Cool way to think about it. We also have club sports and intramural sports here. You're getting all my angles, huh? Club sports and intramural sports. Club sports are like a high school varsity team. They can travel and compete. And then intramural sports, that's a little more casual, just for fun with your friends. A lot of clubs will make their own little intramural sport. So I'm a part of something called Troy Camp. It's a mentorship program. You might have seen a booth for that outside. They were out there. Check it out if you haven't. But mentorship program with kids that live in the downtown LA area. They come to USC a couple times a week, and we do different programs with them. Things like STEM or like creative stuff. And completely unrelated to sports, we're just hanging out with kids, but they have their own intramural volleyball team. They're trying to recruit me for that. I had to kindly decline because I'm not very athletically inclined. And yeah, lots of opportunities to play sports here. This is our physical education.